I'm Nikolai. In this video, we're gonna learn about functions. In math, function is basically something that relates or connects from one set to another set. The first set is what we call the input, and the second set is what we call the output. The input set is usually called the domain, and the output set is usually called the range. And it's really common to see all the functions input and output listed on what we call table of values. Table of values have two columns. The left side is for the input and the right side is for the output. Let me give you a simple equation. F of x is equal to 4x plus 2. In this equation, x is the domain and y is the range. So, we're gonna do it like this. Substitute x for the input and y for the output. In this equation, you could use any number for the value of x. But to keep it simple, let's just use 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the value of x. So now, let's solve it and see what output we get for our table. If we substitute the value of 1 for the x, we will get f of x is equal to 4 times 1 plus 2, which is equals to 6. So the output value is 6. Next, if we substitute the value of 2 for the x, we will get f of x is equal to 4 times 2 plus 2, which means f of x is equal to 10. So the output value is 10. Next is, if we input the value of 3 into our function, we get f of x is equal to 4 times 3 plus 2, which means f of x is equal to 14. So the output value is 14. And lastly, if we input the value of 4 into our equation, we will get f of x is equal to 4 times 4 plus 2, which means f of x is equal to 18. So the output value is 18. Functions can only produce one output value for each input value. And if an input have two or more output value, it is considered as a function. Next, I'm going to teach you on how to solve a quadratic function. Let's start! The formula of the quadratic function is f of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. Let me give you an example. F of x is equal to 3x squared plus 6x minus 2. So now, let's solve it. In solving quadratic function, we should use a table of values. And as an example, let's just use negative 2, negative 1, 0, and 1 in our x values, which is the domain. If we substitute the value negative 2 for the x, and we will get f of x is equal to 3 times negative 1 squared plus 6 times negative 2 minus 2, which is equals to negative 2. So the output value is negative 2. Next is negative 1. Substitute for the x, and we will get f of x is equal to 3 times negative 1 squared plus 6 times negative 1 minus 2, which is equals to negative 5. So the output value is negative 5. Just do it again. Substitute the value 0 for the x, and we will get f of x is equal to 3 times 0 squared plus 6 times 0 minus 2, which is equals to negative 2. And so, the output value is negative 2. Again, just substitute the value 1 for the x, and we will get f of x is equal to 3 times 1 squared plus 6 times 1 minus 2, which means f of x is equals to 7. So the output or the range is 7. Before we do the graph, let's find the vertex first. The formula of the vertex is negative b over 2a. Our b is 6 and our a is 3. So, Negative times 6 over 2 times 3 is equals to negative 6 over 6 or negative 1. Now, let's do the graph. Negative 2, comma negative 2, negative 1, comma negative 5, 0, comma negative 2, and 1, comma 7. As you can tell, our parabola is upward. And there is also an easy way to figure out whether it is upward or downward. You'll just look at the given, because if the given is positive, parabola is upward. And if it is negative, our parabola is downward. Example, our given a while ago is positive. That's why our parabola is upward. But if we make it negative, our parabola will be downward, just like this. The last topic that I'm going to discuss to you is the conic sections. First, I would like you to meet the double nap circular cone. The line in the middle is what we call central axis. The diagonal line is called generator. Vertex is the point at the center of the double nap cone. The lateral surfaces of a double right circular cone is called upper and lower nap. And the base of the upper and lower cone are called circular base. There are 4 conic sections that we're gonna be focusing on this video. We have the circle, the ellipse, the parabola, and the hyperbola. It is really important that you can visualize what we are working on. I am going to show you on how we can produce or form a circle, ellipse, parabola, and a hyperbola in a double nap circular cone. Imagine that a plane is passing through the cone. If the plane intersects the cone perpendicular to the central axis, it will perform a circle. An ellipse is produced when the plane passes through one nap only between the generator and the perpendicular. If the plane passes through one nap parallel to the generator, it is parabola. And lastly, the hyperbola were formed when the plane passes parallel to the central axis and the generator. But if the plane passes through the vertex, it will form a point. When a plane passes through the generator, it will degenerate into a single line. It is possible to determine the type of conic sections we have if the only given is equation. Yes, but please take note of this equation. ax squared plus bxy plus cy squared plus dx plus ey plus f is equal to 0. Because later on, it will help us how to distinguish a certain given. This chart will help us how to determine a conic sections by looking at the given. Value of the discriminant of a circle is b squared minus 4ac less than 0. b is equal to 0 and a is equal to c. Parabola, b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. Ellipse, b squared minus 4ac less than 0, b is equal to 0, and a is not equal to c. Hyperbola, b squared minus 4ac greater than 0. Let me give you one example. 5x squared plus 5y squared plus 7x plus 17y plus 13 is equal to 0. Do you remember the equations that I showed you a while ago? This one. We're gonna use it to determine the given. You just need to look for the similarities in the given to the equation. Our a is 5x squared because they both have x and squared. As you can tell, we don't have b because we don't have x and y in one variable. And our c is 5y squared because they both have y and squared. 7x for d, 17y for e, and 13 for f. As you can tell, there is no b, so b is equal to 0. And our a and c has the same number, so a is equal to c. So, our conic section is a circle. That's all for today, guys. I hope you learned something on this video. Please give us a thumbs up if you did. Thank you for watching and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. Thank you.